Welcome back to Cooking Therapy with Ari. I am so excited because, as you can see, I'm in a different setting. And no, it is not my kitchen. I wish that it was. My former coworker, who I'm still really good friends with, he was gracious enough to lend me his kitchen. So this is actually where I'm going to be filming my baking tutorials moving forward, and I cannot be more excited. As you can see, it's way bigger. You can actually see the countertops, and they're actual countertops, and a beautiful island. So this is just, honestly, just a dream for me. So to kick off this new chapter, and obviously you guys know, if you haven't seen, if you've seen my other baking tutorials, that fall time is obviously my favorite time. And obviously pumpkin is one of my all-time favorite flavors. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make my own recipe for pumpkin cheesecake cookies. And if that wasn't good enough, I'm going to be showing you guys a bonus recipe, and we're going to be transforming those pumpkin cookies and adding a cream cheese filling. So without further ado, let's get started. You're going to need a half cup of butter at room temperature, a half cup of granulated sugar, a half cup of light brown sugar, 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree, 1 egg at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of vanilla or vanilla bean paste, 1 3/4 cup of flour, a half teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of baking powder, 4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1½ packages of cheesecake jello pudding powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. Okay, so first we're going to cream together our butter and our sugar. So once that's all done, then we're going to get started on our pumpkin base. So here I have our 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree. To that we're going to add 1 egg. And our 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm using vanilla bean paste because it's amazing. We're just going to whisk all of that together. Then we're going to combine all of our dry ingredients together. So in here I have our flour, baking soda, baking powder, pumpkin pie spice, the cheesecake powder, and our salt. And again, I'm using the cheesecake flavored jello pudding powder, so just in case you want to know what that looks like. And that's 1½ packets of that. So we're just going to combine our dry ingredients together. Then to our creamed butter and sugar, we're going to add our pumpkin puree mixture and combine that together. Such a pretty color. And then to that mixture, we're gonna add our dry ingredients. I'm gonna do it a little bit at a time. You can throw it all in at once, but my mixer is so high powered. I actually just ordered one that has 10 speeds instead of 3 because this is just outrageous. And you obviously only want to mix this until it's just combined. You don't want to overmix your dough, or you're gonna get some tough cookies. So I'm just gonna pulse this really quick, and actually the rest of it I'm just gonna use a spatula to fold in the dry ingredients. So once your dough is all combined, we're gonna pop this into the fridge for about 30 minutes so that the butter can solidify again. So when we put it into the oven, the cookies aren't gonna spread as much. So at this point, you can actually preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Okay, so our dough has finally chilled for the 30 minutes. And please don't mind the noise that's happening outside. I don't know what's going on out there. Cutting the grass, I have no idea. Anyways, so what you're gonna need next is a medium-sized cookie scoop and a standard-sized cookie sheet with parchment paper or nonstick spray, whatever you have accessible in your kitchen. And ideally, you can fit about 9 cookies on this sheet and maybe a little bit more. Remember, we did chill the dough, so these cookies aren't really gonna spread as much in the oven when it's baking because the butter is solidified and it's not going to melt as quickly. So again, you could fit about 9, maybe even 11. So let's stick a few of these on here. And again, having the cookie scoop is so helpful because you're getting the same portion each and every time. Just to give about 2 to 3 inches of space. All right, so we're gonna pop this into the oven for 14 minutes, and each oven obviously is different, so you might wanna check it around the 12-minute mark just to be sure. This recipe is going to make a soft, chewy cookie, so we're not expecting a really crispy outer edge. We're just looking for a slightly golden brown color. So beautiful, nice and golden brown, just like we want it. And they smell so amazing. Okay, so while our delicious pumpkin cheesecake cookies are cooling off in the back, I'm gonna show you now how to make the second recipe, and this one is just as delicious because we're gonna be adding a cream cheese filling on the inside. And I already went ahead and prepared the dough. I'm gonna show you right now exactly the ingredients that are needed for this particular cookie, and it's not much different than the first. We're just taking out the Jell-O pudding powder and we're adding a little bit more flour to substitute. So here's exactly what you're gonna need. A half cup of butter at room temperature, a half cup of granulated sugar, a half cup of light brown sugar, 1/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree, 1 egg at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of vanilla or vanilla bean paste, 2 cups of flour, a half teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of baking powder, 4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, and a half teaspoon of salt. And for the filling, 4 ounces of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla or vanilla bean paste. Okay, so once you prepare your dough, you're gonna do the same thing, put it into the fridge for 30 minutes, and then we're going to prepare our cream cheese filling. You're gonna need, obviously, cream cheese, about 4 ounces, some sugar, some vanilla bean paste or vanilla extract, whatever you have, and that's it. So let's mix this all together. Okay, so to our softened cream cheese, we're just gonna go ahead and add the 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, so we're gonna put this in the fridge for 30 minutes as well. We just don't want it to be really mushy when we put it in the cookie. So once this is nice and firm, we're gonna assemble our cookies and then finally bake them and taste them. Okay, so we're gonna assemble these now that our cream cheese is somewhat firm. So we're gonna take a scoop of our dough And you can even put a little flour into your hand so at least it doesn't stick. So we're gonna take the dough and then just flatten it out. We're gonna take about maybe like 2 teaspoons or a teaspoon, dollop that right in the middle of the cookie. Then we're gonna take a small portion of dough so we can cover it up. We're gonna bring up the sides. Then put a chunk of dough on top of it so that we can cover it up. And that's it. So I'm gonna keep making these, put them on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, and then we'll put it in the oven. Okay, now we're gonna pop these into a 350-degree oven for the same time as before, 14 minutes. And again, just keep an eye on it around 12 minutes or so, and they should come out also nice and slightly golden brown. So we have our regular pumpkin cheesecake cookies with the Jell-O pudding powder, and we have our delicious cream cheese filled over here. Okay, so let's break one of these open. Oh my god, this is a huge one. That looks so delicious. All right, let's taste. Okay, so before we actually taste, I did just want to mention that you can make this dough in batches ahead of time. You can have it in the fridge up to a week or in the freezer for up to a month. So you could literally just make loads of batches and then just bake them off as you need it. So let's get to the best part. Let's start with the first, our regular pumpkin cheesecake cookie with the Jell-O pudding powder. Again, it's a soft, chewy cookie, so that's exactly what you get.
Oh, yeah. All right.
They're just so good. It's pumpkin, has that hint of cheesecake in there. It's just amazing. And it's so soft and chewy, but it actually has a little bit of a crunch on the outside. So it's just delicious, and it's everything you want out of a pumpkin cookie. And then of course, we have our monstrous pumpkin cookies with cream cheese filling. That was a big bite. Not that I mind at all. Oh my god. Honestly, I love both of these cookies for different reasons, but they're just both absolutely amazing. But I'll let you be the judge of that. Try them out. Leave me a comment below on which one was your favorite. I actually did make the first recipe for work. We had a potluck this week, and everyone loved them. So I know they're gonna be a hit in your home. And Thanksgiving is literally right around the corner. So make these. They're the perfect dessert to bring or make in your home. So thank you guys so much for watching and for all of your support, not only on this part of my channel, but also my vlogs and my collabs. I also wanted to say a big, big thank you to my coworker, his beautiful wife and baby girl, for opening up their home and letting me do something I'm really, really passionate about. So thank you so much, and I wish you all an amazing upcoming holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you get to spend it with the ones you love and care about, and I will see you guys next time right here on Cooking Therapy with Ari.
It's amazing how you knock me off my feet. Every time you come around.